from Rock and Load. We're at the Hard Rock. Let's start again.
For you to say.
Hi, I'm Mike from Rock and Load. We're at the Hard Rock Hell Festival, and I've got the privilege this afternoon of talking to Aaron and Kev from
The Cult Classics.
Aaron, Buchanan and the Cult Classics. I was just waiting for the handshake.
I don't think I've had to do a handshake at that angle before, you know. That's... Yes, indeed.
So, first question, why the Cult Classics?
I was at the time, and I still am. I'm a massive fan of cult movies, so like Taxi Driver, The Craze, Bronson, all that stuff. And I just thought the Cult Classics. I just thought it was a pretty sterling name.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Cool. That's a simple explanation.
I share a name with Neil Buchanan, and that's not so cool. So I had to like weigh out the scales.
Buchanan used to play Hard Rock Hell.
I know, with Marseille, wasn't it?
With Marseille,
that's right.
Yeah,
that's it.
Bumped into Neil a couple of times.
That's funny.
He's in a metal band, so that's cool.
That is pretty cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, it's cool. Yeah.
I'm gonna go playing with a head.
Talented guy. Talented guy. So how's it gone since the start of the formation of the band then?
Well, it's been exceptional. Like I was saying earlier on to one of the other interviewers, like we're rocking like about an extra, well, I say 100 likes a day, which is insane considering we've only put out one song, and we put the Freddie Mercury tribute cover. Oh, sorry, excuse me. At Coke. But yeah, it's been absolutely off the charts. I didn't quite expect for there to be such a big response from both Kev's previous band, Raven, and my own previous band, Heaven's Basement. So, I mean, I guess the thing is probably worth saying now, like, thank you to everybody that's actually come out and clicked the like button, shared the videos, listened to it, appreciated it, and enjoyed it. Like, that's really cool. Thank you.
Do you put it down to your previous fans why that's happening?
Yeah.
Fans of Heaven's Basement, fans of Raven Eye.
I think there's definitely loads of new people that have come in that have got nothing to do with us in previous like outfits. Yeah. But like we've definitely made a lot of difference by having two bands that were on the road doing a lot of stuff, and those people have followed us over. It's super cool.
Yeah, excellent. How did you two guys know each other before? I mean, obviously you've got your sister in the prison, so that's how you know her.
Drop the soap.
Yeah, drop the soap.
I found it on YouPorn. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. I found Kev on YouTube. Funnily enough, we were looking for a drummer, and I was getting desperate because I called lots and lots of people, and I was being quite picky. Like, if I picked up the phone to somebody and chatted to them, I wouldn't quite like get like the right vibe, and I'd be like, no. There's one or two people like that. I say I picked up the phone to a lot of people. I didn't really. I would look at them on the internet because you know they're videos up and stuff like that. And there's a couple of people that I tried to poach, he being one of them. I called up Kev, asked him if he was able to come and do the gig, and he was like, "No, I'm sorry, dude. I'm currently in America touring with The Darkness." Because I found him by typing Heaven's Basement drum cover, and Kev was the guy that came up. However, a couple of months later, long story short. Through another few drummers and whatever, he called me from New York and was like, "Oh, I'm not with that band anymore." And I was like, "Oh, but I've got a drummer." And a couple of days later, that drummer calls me up and was like, "Oh, my band just got signed to Polydor, the band that like he originally played with." So I'm not going to be able to do this. So I was like, "Oh, okay, fair enough." Yo, Kev, you fancy a job?
Yeah. And this is all really cool for me as well, because the reason I did that Heaven's Basement drum cover because I was already a Heaven's Basement fan. Yeah. So I was doing this series of drum covers. Decided to do a couple of songs, and it was those songs.
You've put quite a few on YouTube, haven't you, drum covers?
Yeah, it turns out that they were the best thing that I could have done because they got me the Raven Eye gig, and they've also meant that I got this gig as well.
So basically, you were just touting yourself doing those. Is that...
Well, essentially, yeah. I mean, I just wanted to put. I mean, the internet is fantastic. Like I could have spent the rest of my life doing the smaller size gigs and maybe doing weddings and stuff. And do thousands of them for the rest of my life, and do one video on YouTube and play to then somebody that would see it in Japan or wherever that probably never would have seen me in any other situation. So I was like, oh, well, I have to do it. I have to put myself up online, and it worked. It really paid off because Ollie was in Canada when he first saw my saw my video, and then Aaron was somebody that I knew of but had never met, and just happened to type it into YouTube. So I would recommend to any musician to make themselves a
themselves on
YouTube
YouTube.
video. Yeah, absolutely. But do it well. Don't
Yeah.
just stick
Yeah.
up a terrible camera in a
That's
sort of room.
the thing that stood out with Kev. Like I played drums when I was a kid, so I had the privilege of being able to be like, oh, this guy's got exceptional technique, and he understood silly things like, you know, playing to a click track.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want it the whole way through a gig or anything like that, but like there's good reason for it, and I could see that the guy was just bang on the beat, looked great, played great. And it was a great video piece. So I was like, well, I kind of want him to come and play for my band. I say my band, it's not my band. That's a horrible thing to say. It's a collective,
band.
The band. That's a much better way of saying it. Yeah.
But it has got your name to the band.
Yeah.
It does, interestingly enough, and this is a thing that I've been explaining to everybody today because this is the first sort of proper press that I've done for this band. I initially didn't want to do a band under my own name at all. Didn't want to do that at all. My whole idea was that I was going to go off and do a brand new band under a band name, which would have been the Cold Classics. However, I had a call with the agent and the booking agent, and he's a guy that I look up to a lot. There's a couple of guys, him and my old tour manager, a guy called Luke Bell, who has legendary status on the industry. He is a true gentleman. He used to be the singer for a band called Panic Cell.
Right.
And Dan was like, well, I'm happy to. Look, I'm not happy. He wanted to come and do this project with me as the agent, but he was like, you've got to use your own name because that's how I'm going to get you tours. You've got to use
Because you already have that name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, how do you feel about me using my own name but also having a bad name as well? As opposed to me just walking up and being like, hey, I'm Aaron Buchanan. That's not nice. I wanted it to be a group.
Yeah.
And this is the gang. We are the gang. We come as a collective. My sister as the, you know, it's all an equals thing. It was super important to me that everybody came in and they felt like they had creative freedom. And that's what it's about. So.
Cool. Was your sister in the band right from the start, or did she persuade you to join?
No,
the band?
not at all. Actually, I had to persuade her because I think like she was up for it, but like I think my sister's not a nervous person at all. But to begin with, she was like, "How on earth am I going to get my rig sounding like a big rock rig?" And luckily enough, because I'd worked for so long with Heaven's Basement, I knew their rigs pretty well enough to be like, look, these are the pedals that we used to use, these are the sort of heads and the cabs that we were using, and we use a very, very different rig to that, but I just had enough rough knowledge to be like, we can make this work. And Laurie's very, very good with the technical side of things. She's a bit of a, if I've got ADHD, she's got like the autism sort of side of things where she's just like, this is like, I'm all about the tech side of things. She's very, very intelligent and clever, which is everything I'm not.
Yeah.
And she's definitely the boss. But yeah.
So it's just exactly what you need in the band then?
Pretty much, yeah. Between Kev's brains and Laurie's brains, I just get to be the fairy, which is probably what everybody is probably better off that I'm that guy.
Yeah, I've definitely not been accused of having the brains before, so that's actually saying a lot.
But yeah, that was the reason.
You've just gone out on a tour with Within Me. Is that your first tour that you've full tour?
That was it was more of a run than a tour, I guess. I think when I was with Basement, we were so used to doing between 4 to 6 weeks that anything less than that now to me is like a tour.
Yeah.
But no, it was great. It was a great run. Imi played fantastic. It was really good to hang out with the guys from Empire. Joe, good God, that guy has got a set of pipes. Has a phenomenal set of lungs. Yeah. They're a really good hang as well.
Empire with the opening.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that.
Just in case everyone who's just like, an Empire, by the way, just some random group of people.
So yeah, we did those 11 shows, and this is the 12th ever show of the band's existence. So, if you come and see it, it could be a little bit like this, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be an interesting voyage.
Who are you clashing with?
Phil
stage,
Campbell. Yeah.
So the good thing is that there's always a gap in between the two bands on the main stage, so everybody just runs over to the other stage. Yeah,
I think as well, like this festival has it's got a pretty good reputation for people just going to see music. It doesn't matter whether it's old or new. Like, in fact, a lot of the interviewers today have said that people will just show up to see a new band. Luckily, I guess for Kev and I, we've been around enough that people. There's going to be people there that know who we are.
Yeah,
maybe not many, but there'll be a few. If we walk out to 100 people, that'd be great. If we walk out to more than that, awesome. Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, good stuff. You've also just lined up the Wildfire Festival.
That's right,
well, haven't you, for next year?
Yeah, that got locked in a couple of days ago.
Is there anything else lined up?
There is.
What you can't say?
Oh god, there's some sick festivals next year, but I can't say no because it's not
Right.
it's not gone out on their pages
The last
yet.
time I saw you was at Download Festival. You're in that way. You played on the acoustic stage as well, didn't you? There.
Yeah, actually, you know what? It's super sad that I don't have that anymore. Download Festival used to be Jägermeister stage, Red Bull stage, Pepsi Max stage, the second stage, and the main stage. And now they've only got Pepsi Max, second stage, and main stage, and they've got the wrestling tent, and the Red Bull tent doesn't exist, which is really, really sad because Heaven's Basement would never have got to play the second stage without playing the Jägermeister stage.
Yeah.
That was our inroad.
Yeah.
Andy allowed us to play the Jaeger truck as an acoustic set in 2011.
Yeah.
2012 we got to play the Pepsi Max stage. We started with 400 people, 6,000 people, 20,000
Yeah.
people.
Well, I was
And
there when I was one of those 400 watching on the acoustic stage.
And that's, oh God, we look terrible. I look back, I saw a little thumbnail come up one of those videos the other day, and I was like, good God, if I could take this off the internet. So that's terrible. But you know,
Didn't come across that way in the crowd.
but it is what it is. Like, it got us from one place to the other, and it's sad now that there are bands that are around Kev and I that we would be like, that'd be the perfect thing to do. Like, to get them now. Pepsi Max stage, there's a 6,000 capacity tent. Good luck trying to get that full as a brand new band. That's really difficult. There's still opportunities in like the press tent and that kind of thing, but again, that's a difficult thing to get on unless you've already been around those kind of people. So hey, if you're listening, Andy Coppin, bring back the Jaeger truck.
know.
It's awesome.
Material-wise, how long have you been around as a band? When did you first is the 5 of you in the band?
Yeah.
When did all 5 first get together and start writing music? And
Well, the music was already written because I'd actually written most of this album for Basement. I had all the demos done.
Did you write?
And then I went in and recorded before I knew Kev, before I knew Chris. Laurie is the only member of the Cold Classics that is on the record.
Right.
Tom was about for a couple of the days that we were in there, but Laurie and I basically lived at the studio for 2 months getting the record together, and I went away for 7 weeks to Australia to go and complete the half the record that hadn't been done. Basically, so I had all the demos for the record were done, which is basically a verse and a chorus, and I was like, I can make good songs out of these, I think. And I wrote about 50 songs for this record. In comparison with the Heaven's Basement record, we wrote 120. I didn't have time to write 120 songs.
No.
I wanted to make sure that there was a record out either late this year or early next year, and that's what's going to happen. The new record, The Man with Stars on His Knees, will be out hopefully around the springtime, unless a record label gets involved and they decide to do something different. That's one of those things, you know. I'm not gonna. If somebody's going to offer me tour support and all those nice luxuries of having a record label, then of course we'll take up on that. And it might take a little bit longer, but if not, we'll do a self-release. It'll go out in spring, and I'm very excited to hear what people have got to say about it, good and bad.
Well, the first single that we all heard, it's a cracking song.
Well, that's the first song I ever wrote for this album. I started writing it in 2011, finished it in 2014.
Right.
So yeah.
Just going back to the album title, what is it? The Man with the Stars on His Knees.
The Man with Stars on His Knees.
On his knees.
And basically that came from I was sitting down writing. I wrote dozens and dozens and dozens of songs, and a comment came up. They were just like, "You're not very good at writing hooks for songs." And I was like, as a writer and as a musician, I was a little bit hurt by that.
Imagine.
And I was like, okay. So I went away and I just wanted to go and find something that was completely off the charts. And I don't really like writing to cliches very much. That's not really my style. I like to be a little bit more deep, a little bit more twisted, I guess. My personality, classic. But I was looking around on different meanings of tattoos. I don't have any tattoos, but it's something that interests me because I like visual art.
Yeah.
And I came across Russian prison tattoos, which I had no idea what that stuff was about. And there was different ones, so like a snake around the neck was like addiction, a spider would be like theft, and there was various ones with various different meanings. And the Man with Stars on His Knees. So the reason this happened, I terminated my contract with Red Bull. I wasn't with Heaven's Basement anymore. I didn't have management anymore. Literally on my own. The only person I had fighting my corner was Laurie, my sister. I hadn't had the conversation with James about doing the record just yet, and Davita was like, "You need to go and do a record." So I was on my own. The Man with Stars on His Knees. It means the man that bows to no authority.
Wow.
So there you go.
What a great album title that is. It sounds like an old Matt Bolan album title, doesn't it?
I wanted to do something that was just, it wasn't, I wanted to do something memorable. the whole artistic aspect of this album was super important to me, down to the way that the band look and play and their personality. Like, everybody in this band has definitely got the right personality to be in it. I sort of like made sure, you know, I guess every band does this, but I just wanted a particular image, a particular playing style. There was things that I was looking for, aspects in people that I wanted them to give to the stage, because at the end of the day, with a title as strong as that, I wanted to make sure the audience got to connect with it instantly. They're going to do a great job.
Yeah.
I believe in them.
No pressure on them. Yeah?
No. They don't have.
But you will do a great job.
No. They absolutely will, because they are the people that, you know, Laurie and myself chose to come and do this.
Yeah.
We absolutely believe in them.
It's going to be great.
It's a
Where'd that
team.
whiskey go?
Yeah, I think it's great.
So, yeah.
On that note, guys, I think it's a great point to end the conversation. Yeah, so thank you. It's been a pleasure talking to you both.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you very
Good
much.
luck, best of luck today. Hopefully I get over to see you, but we're stuck in here.
Mate, you just
the thing,
keep drinking your whiskey. You have a good time.
I'm drinking water today. Rehydrate. Right, guys, thank you very much.